Okay, so we're going to be completing the ACF0900 form, which is used to set up a direct payment. So in section 1, you would need to complete the Care First ID of the service user. In addition, you would also need to complete the Care First ID of the financial representative. Moving on to section 2. Section 2, you would complete the personal details of the service user. So their name, address, date of birth, contact numbers, and also the national insurance number if you are able to obtain this information.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the section with regards to who will manage the account? I'm a little bit confused about that.
Okay, so the this information will need to be around who will be managing the direct payment, and usually it's the main unpaid carer that would be managing the direct payment, so such as a husband, wife, parent, even a brother or sister. Alternatively, if it's a fully managed account, it would be an agency such as Payroll or Compass. So you would just complete the details if it was an unpaid carer, complete all this section, and if it was an agency, you would just put that agency's details at the top and their address just in that section there. For this part of section 2, you would need to confirm who will be receiving the remittance advice slip. So you have 3 options here. If the adult is managing their own direct payments account, you would tick this box. If it is a unpaid carer who you've named previously, you would tick this box. If it's other, such as Payroll or Compass or another third-party agency, you would tick this box, and then just put the name and the address and the contact details in that section there.
Brilliant, that makes sense, yes.
Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay, for this part of section 3, you will need to provide a support plan summary. So this really will be in relation to what you've detailed in your support plan. So you will need to talk about the number of hours that the service user is receiving, what they're receiving that support for, and what the rate is. So for example, you could put something like personal care and toileting, 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, at £10.96 an hour.
So it's got to be really clear and concise.
It has to be
concise.
That's right, absolutely. It has to be very clear.
Yeah.
Because that information is quite crucial. So that is detailed in that section there. Further down, you will be asking the person who will be managing the account to sign this section. So they will have the option to select one of 3 boxes. Ask them to obviously read these statements and make sure that they agree with these statements, and then just get them to sign that bit there.
So that will be the person that was on page 1 that we spoke about.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So they will be completing that. So it could be the adult.
Yeah.
It could be the unpaid carer, or the third-party agency.
Okay.
Okay, so this is section 4 where you would complete the support provider details. So this is quite an important section that you would need to complete.
It looks really confusing just looking at it. Yeah, I need some advice on that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks confusing, but it's actually not that confusing, to be honest. You probably have about 3 possible scenarios that you would need to work through. So if the person, the adult, or their family member or friend is happy to fully manage the direct payment account themselves, you would tick this box here which says tick to show that support agency is not required and that the adult, friend or family to manage the direct payment. So you tick that box, and then you would complete this section here which says carers and personal assistant insurance. So the maximum for that would be £100,
yes,
and it would need to be inserted in this section. The other possible scenario would be that the adult or the family member or friend is happy to manage the direct payment themselves, but they need support with the payroll.
Yes.
So in that situation, you would select one of 3 third-party agencies, and then you would move on to the setup package. You would look at whether it's level 1 or level 2. Level 1 would be if they're receiving up to 10 hours of direct payment support per week. Level 2 would be if they're receiving up to 22 hours. For level 1, it's a one-off cost of £150, and for level 2, it's a one-off cost of £350.
Okay.
And that is paid by the council.
Yes.
Yep.
Where's that paid to? Is it paid to the provider?
It's paid to the provider, yes,
Okay.
it's paid to them, yeah. Just to set up the package, if it's a new
okay.
package. You would then move on to ongoing support. Now, there is a pricing menu
Yes.
that details what is low-level support, what is medium-level support, and what is high-level support. So you would use that as a guide to determine which one of these 3 is. So you would need to select the drop-down for the most applicable. You would then move on to payroll services, and with payroll services you would select which agency it is, because each agency has different amounts that they charge for their payroll services, and then you would select that there. Again, if there are any additional employees, if they've got more than one personal assistant, then you would just select that in the drop-down menus there.
So, ideal for all Compass Disability Services and Pendrell Trust, there's a slightly different rate.
There are.
Dependent upon which
That's
company
right.
you're using.
That's right, there is. You would also select the carers and personal assistant insurance for this section, which again is no more than £100. And the disclosure and barring DBS check would be at the discretion of the adult. However, it is a one-off fee of £55.
The carers and personal assistant insurance, is that a one-off payment of £100, or do we pay £100 every single year?
No, it's a one-off cost of £100. Okay, so scenario 3 would be if the account is going to be a fully managed account. So there is only one difference with this scenario. You would need to select the third-party supported managed account drop-down.
Yes.
And that is a weekly fee that we pay to the provider to manage the account. Everything else will remain the same as scenario 2. So you would still select the support provider. You would also select the appropriate setup package, whether it's level 1 or level 2. Same as the ongoing support, it would either be low, medium or high. And again, with the payroll services, you would select the selected agency, and if it's one employee, you would keep that there. You would add any additional employees as appropriate, and also with the insurance as well.
So some of these are weekly costs and some are one-off payments. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
I
right.
understand.
Yep. So just to clarify, the one-off cost would be for the insurance,
Yes.
and it would be for the setup.
Yeah.
Whereas for the third-party supported managed account, that would be a weekly fee. Ongoing support, that would be weekly, and for payroll services, that would be weekly on top of the agreed direct payment.
And this element
Amount.
of the direct payment goes directly to the support provider. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the final section is section 5, which looks at the method of payment. So you actually have 2 options here. You have the option of being paid through a prepaid card,
Yes.
or being paid through a bank account. So we'll first look at the section for the prepaid card, which is section 5A. So this does require you to complete a separate form in addition to this, but here you would need to just confirm that that the adult has been provided with the fact sheets and you will also need to make sure that the prepaid card agreement has been completed as well. So you need to tick those 2 boxes.
Yes.
And then you would need to get the signatures of the account holders.
Yes.
So there can be up to 2. And you just get their signatures on this section. So that's if it was a prepaid card.
Yes.
If it was going to be paid through a bank account, you would then need to get this section completed. Again, you would need to get confirmation that the bank account is in the name of the direct payment account holder.
Yes.
You would need to get the address details, the name of the bank and the address, and the sort code and account number.
So it's really bog standard, really, things.
Yes. And then also the signatures as well from the account holders as well. The important aspect of this section is to remember that you cannot have a prepaid card and a bank account. It's one or the other. Yeah.
What about the managed account? I heard that you can't. Is it a case that you can only have you can't have a prepaid card?
That's right.
With a managed account.
That's right. So if you've got a prepaid card, you need to be managing the direct payments yourself. It can't be managed through a third party.
Okay.
If it is a third party supported account, then it would need to be through a bank account.